There we go. We are live.
All right. Hello, everybody. No, Hugh. You made noise. Come on.
Sorry.
How dare you make noise?
Sorry, I'm 35. I can't move without making a noise.
Hello, everybody. It is Thursday, July 27th, 2017, and you're listening to the Talking Games podcast. I'm Bobby Shortle, and I'm here with Mr. Hugh Perry
Hello.
and Ms. Kelsey Lavati.
Hello.
All right, we're back to do another episode of Talking Games. I make my triumphant return to the podcast. And you guys talked about Destiny last week. Well, Kelsey wasn't here last week either, right? You were also absent.
Yeah.
So you talked all about Destiny, and I'm sure you did a great job. But I just want to say that Destiny 2 is good. It's like a Destiny again.
Correct.
With more Destiny stuff.
Destiny squared.
It looks a little bit better, and it plays about the same, which is totally okay, because Destiny 1 plays awesome. And yeah, I mean, there's not a ton to say that for me, other different what you guys said, actually, except that I did really like the story mission, like Hugh had said. The story mission was great, and I'm excited about the new multiplayer mode, the one that's like the not the control point one, the one that you have to defuse the bombs. Countdown, that's what it's called. I liked that one a lot. And yeah, I didn't get a chance to play past really what. Actually, I didn't play again very much at all since we did that stream last Wednesday night. So I don't have much to say other than what we've already shown. But I didn't get the chance to check out the farm, which I know you did, Hugh, which is the new social space.
Yeah, it's cool.
And they know they ran the beta through Tuesday. They extended it to Tuesday, but I didn't play anything except for some multiplayer over the weekend. So I don't know exactly if they added anything new or anything like that. But I came away with it impressed. You know, Destiny is a very good video game that I'm very excited to play. It's one of those games where I was actually talking with Justin via text, and we're talking about all the games that are coming out and have come out and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of times I'm thinking to myself, especially with the baby on the way, when am I going to find time to play this game or that game? I never worry about that with Destiny because I feel like it's just a game I'm going to play a lot and not even realize I played a lot of it. So that's where I am with that. Hugh, what'd you think of the social space?
I really liked it. It was very... they basically just put it there so you could get a feel for how it looks more than anything. There was nothing going on there. There was none of the vendors or anything like that. You just had sort of like the farm with there was like barns and stuff. The football pitch, so you could basically have a game of football. And it was called football in the menus as well, which made me happy. But yeah, it looks really cool. Like, I think there's from what I've heard as you're playing through the game, I don't know whether you're like maybe rescuing people or there's people like refugees come into it, but it looks like it's going to evolve as you're going through it, which is really, really interesting. To have it like the tower in the first one was just. It was just there as a function, more or less. It was just where you went to just like decode your engrams, buy some stuff, kick the glowing purple ball around, stand on top of the building and make yourself shoot up in the air, and buy stuff from Squidface once a week. So this feels like it's going to be a bit more of an interesting space with like a bit more life to it. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I was also I've watched a few streams IGN have put out like 10-minute videos of the new patrol, and I'm really, really, really excited for what we're seeing from that. It looks like there's going to be so much more to do, a lot more like unpredictability about it. Like there's the new public events where I think they're gonna have like optional objectives in them, and if you complete the optional objective, it could spawn a boss and who's like very hard. And I think it like restarts the event, but it'll finish with this boss that's really hard, so it puts you into like a hard mode of it. And if you do that, you get like special loot. And it's just like there's a lot more variety by the looks of it to the patrol than there used to be. So I think this game in general, it does really feel like they've taken on board pretty much all of the criticisms of the original Destiny, and they're doing their best to put it right. So I'm really, really excited for this. I cannot wait for September 6th.
Yeah. Again, I had a great time playing it, and I'm really looking forward to playing it more. For sure. It reminded me how much I like Destiny and how excited I am to play it and to get back into that world. And it was interesting. I was saying this to Hugh. It's the first multiplayer game I've really played since getting really into Battlegrounds. And not that I was very much better at the actual shooting part of playing Destiny Online, but I was way better at actually thinking about the match in some sort of tactical sense, and not just in a let me just run directly at where I think I have to run to and hopefully I can react quick enough to shoot somebody. I was actually thinking more about, line of sight and, which way do I usually go and which way do people usually go, and trying to subvert that, and, looking around corners and all that kind of stuff that I had never really thought about in a multiplayer game before. So that was a cool thing to jump in and be thinking about that stuff.
Are you going to be getting it, Kelsey? Yeah. I'll rephrase that. You're getting it, Kelsey.
I don't feel like I have a choice, but I do want to play it, so it's a good thing.
Of course you have a choice, but it would be fun to have you in for the ride, because I kind of feel like this, like Destiny's the game on which this thing we're doing now was built.
Yeah, that's true, for sure.
So I think like...
Yeah, I get that vibe.
Yeah, so I was actually speaking to Jackie earlier on, and she's really excited for it as well, so I might actually get to play...
You're kidding me. Jackie's excited for Destiny?
I might actually get to play a video game with Jackie again for the first time in ages, which would be nice. Well, I'm not going to get my hopes up, but,
Don't be crazy. Don't be crazy.
I know.
Yeah. I mean, if one game can get Jackie to play again, it's Destiny 2. Although I didn't see her playing the beta, but...
No, she didn't.
Again, she hides her online status, though, sometimes, for whatever reason.
It's probably
so people can't make fun of her.
Abusing her for leaving her PlayStation on.
I did that too.
People can't make fun of her for leaving herself in orbit for 6 days straight or whatever.
Monster.
Ludicrous. So Destiny was a thing I played a lot last week, and then I hopped into some Splatoon 2 this weekend. I know, Hugh, you were playing a bunch as well. Kelsey still can't play because she doesn't have a Switch. So.
News, though.
I actually found a couple of people to buy it, but they keep canceling on me last minute. But I'm meeting someone tomorrow, Pierre, if you're listening. Thank you. And hopefully he won't cancel last minute. This is what's been happening to me, but I'm going to sell it tomorrow. So hopefully I could go buy the Switch and have it and play it over the weekend. That's my goal so far. Okay. So if it all goes through, I'm going to go buy probably Zelda. We were thinking also probably Splatoon. Me and Hugh, before we were talking.
Probably I was spending Kelsey's money for it.
Yeah, good job. I know. I will. Speaking of that, Sam just bought a Switch as well.
She did.
So in the last 2 weeks, she bought a gaming laptop and a Switch, and I apologize to her for continuously making her spend her hard-earned money on stuff. But cool. So the Switch is imminent then, Kelsey, for you.
Very imminent. I'm very excited. I'm every time someone cancels on me, I get very depressed. So I don't want to jinx it. I really hope he meets me tomorrow and takes it off my hands.
You're going to have to text me and let me know, the instant it either, the transaction happens, because I'm not going to be able to sleep tomorrow unless I find out.
I'm supposed to meet him at 5:45 because he works at the hospital, that's close to my house. So 5:45, if it all goes well, I should have the money to buy the Switch. So I'm really excited.
We need a picture of the handoff, like the actual handoff,
Oh,
like you
don't worry.
like
Don't worry.
grabbing. All right, I look forward to it. So yeah, so Splatoon 2 though, I probably put a couple of hours in, all multiplayer. I didn't dive into single player yet. It's really good. I think it's a little bit more responsive. And maybe it's just because I like the Pro controller on the Switch so much, but I think it controls a little bit better than the original, although it's very, very similar. I'm sort of waffling between committing to playing with the motion controls and or playing with just the sticks, because I know people who really like the motion controls swear by them and say it's the best way to play. And you know, if you're not playing the motion controls, that you're kind of having a lesser experience, because people who are really good with the motion controls are like really, really good with them and can own you very, very quickly. But I mean, it looks great. It runs, it's rock solid, 60 frames a second. You know, obviously there's like I know you guys talked about the borked like online Nintendo stuff last week. I haven't really tried yet to jump into anything with anybody, so I haven't had to go through that
I have.
yet. I have zero interest really in using their voice chat app, just because there are other better apps for doing voice chat on my phone that don't close when I lock my phone. It's a ridiculous thing that it like drops you out when you lock your phone. I'll just use Discord. It's way better. And it's just as convenient, considering there is no way to link the phone to your Switch. So it's not like you're getting anything extra out of using it. But the game is great. Hugh, you said you had an experience with it. You tried it?
Yeah, well, me, Justin, and Megan were playing last weekend, and we were just like, right, let's try this app out. So like we weren't using it for the voice chat, like we were already in a Discord call. So we set up like what we thought would have been like partying up, for want of a better way of putting it.
Mm-hmm.
But from what we can tell, and after like numerous Google searches, I can't for the life of me find out, or well, we couldn't work out a way to basically. We thought what we were doing was linking ourselves together so we could like jump into online games with the three of us on a team, matchmake, have a fourth person fill the last slot, and then we'd be playing against another team. But this app basically, again, like it might be possible for us to do that, but like I've searched and searched and we can figure it out at the time. But it looks like the app is basically tailored around you forming a group of 8 people, or less, I guess. You could have like 2-on-2 or 4-on-4 matches or whatever, 3-on-3 matches rather. But private matches, like you're not playing against anybody other than the people in the room you've created. So the only way we could find to play online together with other people was that one of us would have to go into the matchmaking. So the screen where you're in the lobby and you see the slots fill in with the random people. And then if you go, when you're in the tower in the square that you run into, and it brings up the online.
Yeah, the menu,
options.
And there's the find friends option.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would jump into a lobby, and then it would come up on their screen that I'm joinable, and then they could join me. So we could play in a game together that way, but it doesn't necessarily put you on the same team. So it just randomly switches you around. So you could be like, there was one game where it was like me and Justin on the same team and Megan was on her own on the other team. And it's just frustrating. Like, you'd like to be able to like play as a team together against like other people online without having to worry about like having to find like a big group of people. Because I was saying to Kelsey before we started, the most people I see online on my Switch right now is 2, maybe 3 at the most. So it's just not like, this is just in my experience, but it just seems restrictive that like when they make this app forces you to just have private games, it's just incredibly frustrating that you can't like party up and then go into an online game against like other people who are, randoms. So
yeah. I mean, the original Splatoon did the same thing. Like you would have to, one person would have to join a game, and then the other people would have to hit the join friends thing, find the person, click them, and get in before the room, filled out with other people.
Yeah.
It's not the best way to do it, for sure. The only thing I can even say for them is just that this isn't beta. Like the online service isn't out in full yet. Hopefully they'll be able to improve this stuff by the time it actually hits. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is really gonna happen with all of this.
Yeah. But that being said, it's a great game. I'm having tons of fun with it. I've just hit the point where I'm level 10 now, so I can play the ranked mode,
which
is like the competitive mode. It's really good fun. Is this like normal online play until you hit level 10? You're playing the mode called Turf War, which is basically just cover the place with as much of your team's colours paint as you can. Ranked mode right now, I don't know if there's other modes that rotate into it, but so far I've been playing this mode called Rainmaker, which is basically just, there's this thing in the middle of the map. So you start off and both teams have got to basically fight. You shoot your paint at the bubble that's around it and make it pop, and then you can pick it up. And then what you're carrying is essentially just like this really powerful weapon, and you've got to carry that as close to, or actually get it into the other team's base to win. So if like it's a 5-minute time limit, so
yeah,
if the time runs out, the team who got it closest to the opposition team's base wins, or you can win the game outright before time runs out by getting it into their base and like just slam dunking it in. So basically you got to pick this thing up and then protect the person who's holding it, but this person has a sort of reduced movement speed while they've got it. They can move a bit faster if they go into like squid form and like move through the ink, but you've got to get ahead of them and spray the ink around to help them like move quicker. And it's really cool. Like it's really tense. Like the back and forth of it is really fun, because if they get it close to your base and you kill the person carrying it, and then your team sort of like retrieves it, it ends up with sort of like this, you're trying to sort of like push back, so you might get it so far back towards their base, but then the carrier might get killed, and then you'll have to sort of like clear the opposition away from it again, and then sort of pick it up again and move it forward. And it's just a really, really fun mode, like quick 5-minute matches, and it's just frantic, absolutely frantic.
Are any of those modes in quick play as well, or is that all just in ranked?
No, I think it's just in ranked. Like all I've played in quick play is just Turf War, which is one of the things I'm a little bit disappointed about in the game, is that you've only got one mode for up until you hit level 10. You've only got the one mode to play, which is a bit of a shame. Like you've got the single player and the salmon run and stuff, which is the horde mode, but it's just a bit annoying, and you get the maps that sort of rotate every couple of hours as well, but it's just a bit disappointing.
Yeah, and you have to watch those ladies tell you about the maps
again and
before
again.
You can play them. Yeah. They did that in the last one too. I don't mind so much that Turf War is just what you have, because that's a lot of what Splatoon, and that's Splatoon to me for the most part, is just the how can you paint what, that's always been Splatoon to me. But it is disappointing a little bit that they don't open up more of it.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they rotated the modes as well as the maps.
Yeah. But I think part of it is that they're trying to make sure that you can always find a game. You know, I don't think that they're quite totally sure about their player base yet and how it's going to go. So I think they're trying to make sure that they, you know, that they maximize the player base so that you're never having trouble finding a game. And if they let all those modes be in a hopper and let you choose your modes, then you're going to end up with a more fractured player base. I think that's probably why they do it. But I'm anxious to see how the game goes and develops, and all the DLC and stuff, just like last time, is going to be free. They're going to do all the new stuff, all the content updates. So I'm interested to see how that ends up for them.
Yeah, they've already added one new weapon for free on the weekend, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's very cool. So,
but yeah, like I said, once you get to level 10, you unlock the rank mode, which gives you sort of a grading. So you start off C-, and then you've got to get yourself. You just sort of gradually fill that bar up. You level up. So I've gone from C- to C, and I think once you hit B-, you then unlock League mode, which is. I'm not entirely sure how that works, but I'm very interested to do my best to try and get there.
Yeah, it's sort of like Overwatch competitive mode.
Yeah,
like you can go in with a full squad if you want. You can go with 4, and then you're gonna be your own team of 4, or you go in by yourself and they fill in 3 other people, or you go in 2 people. You know, it's just like going into like competitive in Overwatch or whatever. So. Yeah, that's new too. I don't think that was in Splatoon 1.
Yeah,
the league battle.
I'm guessing that's where they'll base the sort of esports side of it, I suppose.
Probably, yeah. I'm anxious to play more, but I played very little of it, so I definitely want to play more. But I mean, all of this is prelude, Kelsey, to the big release of this week, which is
Daddy.
This is Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator from Game Grumps, who are popular YouTube personalities, streamers, Let's Players. It's a game about dating dads. You're a single dad who dates other dads. And and yeah, that's what the game's about. And it's a visual novel / dating simulator. What I'll say is that I was surprised immediately how much of a game it was. You know, I went into it thinking like, oh, this is going to be a very like surface level, like you go on a date with this dad and then a date with this dad and a date with this dad. I didn't think it was going to be like something that had a story, and what ended up being a somewhat touching story about like a father and his child sort of making their way in the world together after one of the parents passes away. So it's a very ends up being a very almost touching story, which I didn't expect at all, but very, very cool. And I think the art looks great, and it's very funny. But I want to get you guys' opinions as well first. Actually, Kelsey, you've been excited about this game for a while now, and I feel like the rest of the site has kind of stolen your thunder as far as like everybody has jumped on the bandwagon. How'd you hear about the game first of all, and how'd you end up liking it when you played it?
I actually saw it because someone had tweeted about it. They were like, "Oh, there's a game on Steam about dads dating dads," and I was like, "Ooh, daddies, love that." So then I was like, "Oh, I'm excited." Because I felt the same way. I thought it was just gonna be like a fun, silly game that I could like talk about and make people laugh,
Mm-hmm.
And so when there was the whole delay on it, I realized that they were working really hard on it, and I felt more like, okay, maybe this is going to be more than what we originally thought. So the day it came out, me and Bobby actually texted each other. We're like, "Oh, it's up." And I got home from work, and I immediately started playing it, and I really loved it. I've played it 4 times.
Okay, before you even get to that, how long has each playthrough been for you? I'm just wondering.
Okay, it depends how you choose to play the game.
Okay.
If you choose to go on one date, one date, one date, one date, one date, one date, one, 2 day, 2 day, 2 day, two. Like if you choose to go and then you pick one, it could be a while, which is
Okay.
how I was starting to play it. But then it's weird because it's sort of like a telltale game in a sense where your choices matter. Like they're like, oh, Matt will remember that kind of thing. And so depending on who you date first, you might have a different reaction with someone else. There's two specific characters that I've experienced so far that I know for sure something happens. I don't want to spoil it. So the first time I played it, I was sort of dating the other dads, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go for Matt. And I finished the game with Matt. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to redo my whole character because the first, I just wanted to get used to it. So I made the character look very much like me, and I called him Kelso. Like I wasn't very creative.
Isn't that the guy from
And so then
Scrubs?
Yes, it is.
that 70s show. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. You're going that 70s show.
Michael
Sorry.
Kelso. My
Sorry.
character's name was Kelso Michaels. I'm very
Oh,
very
great.
creative.
So you named it after an Ashton Kutcher character.
Okay, first of all, you guys, I used to have an Ashton Kutcher poster in my room that I would kiss every morning in elementary school, and I would say goodbye to him every day. So he's been in my heart all along.
Kelsey.
Hashtag Kelsey tweets.
Yeah.
So I went with Matt first, and I think he was a good choice to play with first because he's very sweet and I love him, and he's my for real dream daddy. I love him. And then I heard some rumors about Robert, the bad daddy. So basically, you meet both of them sort of at the coffee shop. And then if you go out to a bar, you meet Robert like one-on-one. And there's a decision at the end of that night that if you make a bad decision, it affects the way Robert treats you for the rest of the game. And if you play the game, you'll know what I mean. I don't want to spoil it, but I kind of want to give advice.
Your advice is we've been texting about this. It's don't go after Robert because he's not a good guy.
No, don't listen. But if you choose not to do the bad thing, he opens up to you. It's hard to explain it without spoiling it. Okay. He opens up to you, and then this is the worst part. This is why I had to play the game 3 more times. It's because every decision you make after that affects the ending of the game with Robert. So he's a very cryptic. You really have to trial and error him until you get the good ending, I guess you could say. So I've done that now. So I'm gonna backtrack with this character that I created. His name is Harrison, and I'm gonna start.
He sounds like a douche.
Excuse me. Harrison loves his daughter Amanda. Okay, he's been through a lot.
Yeah, it's true. He has been through a lot.
All dads love their daughter Amanda.
Yeah.
So now next I'm probably gonna go for Joseph, the pastor father.
Oh yes, okay. Mm-hmm.
Pastor father? What, like Fusili?
No, not pasta father. You pastor.
Yes, I got that. Thank you.
Like a clergyman.
So I'm gonna go for him next because I heard stuff about his storyline, which I think it's gonna be along the lines of Robert, where it might depend on what I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's very preppy. Joseph is very preppy.
Yeah, I know.
He's got very nice hair. He doesn't seem like your type, Kelsey.
No, he's not. But apparently, it's an interesting twist.
Okay.
So that's why I want to play that one next. And then we'll see. I haven't decided yet. I've been on dates with the other dads, the first dates with the other dads. I'm probably gonna just keep going back to when me and Amanda move into the town and then go from there now instead
Okay.
of doing all of them at the same time.
Well, yeah, you should avoid doing all of them at the same
Yeah,
time.
I was gonna say bad turn of phrase there, Kelsey.
Yeah.
People got what I meant. They know.
Oh,
They know.
Yeah, they do know, Kelsey. Judging by the things you've said in the past.
Bow, bow.
I wanted to date all of them. I thought that there was a way to have a polyamorous dad's relationship, and there isn't, and I'm very disappointed.
They didn't think of everything. Obviously, they didn't think of everything.
They didn't think of
how
polyamory.
unrealistic.
Yeah. Yeah, so I haven't even done a full playthrough. I moved to town. I met Matt because I went to the coffee shop. I named his new concoction Right Said Banana Bread. So, and he liked that. But then I did go out to the bar and I did meet Robert. So
What was your decision? Did you listen to me?
no, I didn't listen to you. I went against your word.
You should have predicted
Now
that,
he's not
Kelsey.
going to call you.
I'm not, but Kelsey, I went into it knowing what the situation was. I didn't expect him to call, so it was okay.
But now you can't further develop your relationship with
I don't
him.
want to. This seems like a very surface level guy. I'm not interested in like.
He has a sad story.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. Everybody has a sad story. Everybody in the world has a sad story. My character has a sad story, all right? But I'm not being an asshole all around town, all right? So I'm not looking to break him down or make him a good guy. He just moved to this town. He's feeling my character was feeling lonely. He had to have some companionship for the night.
That's what I thought.
Definitely felt bad about it though the next day because I got like an achievement for being a bad dad.
Yeah.
So, because I left my daughter and her two friends at home while I went and banged this guy at his house. But we all live like in the same neighborhood, which is like a crazy, weird, Desperate Housewives thing.
In the cul-de-sac.
In the cul-de-sac, yeah.
Yeah.
I did also meet I met Matt. Obviously, I said that. I met the other guy, the guy from college who has the babies. Craig. Yes, Craig. I met Craig.
Hottie Craig.
Yeah. And then Joseph, of course. But yeah, I don't know where we're gonna go from here. We have to. I was telling him before we started recording, we recorded a second episode of our Dream Daddy playthrough, Karen and I, and we got through to that point, and then we stopped, and then OBS was like, "No, this file it's corrupt. It doesn't work." So the file is gone. So we have to re-record it. So I'm sure it will be just as spontaneous and hilarious as it was the first time around. But we'll play it through it again, and I'll try to make the same choices, and then we'll get through that. But yeah, I really, it's a tough line for me because like I'm definitely enjoying it because I'm recording videos of it. That's definitely a reason I'm enjoying it. And I'm enjoying it because we're all talking about it and telling funny stories and having what would be is out of context the most ridiculous conversations in the world in our text chats. But like that's part of it for sure. But I also think that the game is more than just like a novelty. I think that there's novelty to it, and the novelty is really good for getting people in the door to check it out and like, oh, this will be so funny, like you said, Kelsey. And I think I felt the same way. But there's some cool stuff in there, and like there's some genuinely funny stuff. There's some good writing, some good characters, and I think that
the writing's amazing. It's really spot on.
Yeah, absolutely. And the art, which I should have looked up who did most of the art for the characters, but it has definitely like a very like if you like a Princeless vibe, like from comics, like a Jeremy Wiggley comic.
Yes.
It's got a cool art style and not something you see in a ton of games. Definitely not something you see in a lot of dating sims or anything like that. So I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm definitely gonna play it through it at least once, if not more than that, depending on how long each playthrough takes as I go through. Hugh, did you get a chance to jump in with it at all? Sorry, Kelsey.
Yeah, I got about as far as you and Karen did at the end of your first episode.
Okay.
And like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised by it, to be honest. Like it's kind of like a interactive sort of fiction, like a choose your own adventure thing. And I'm pleased with how, like you say, it is funny and it doesn't take itself too seriously. But it's got, there's a good bit of heart to it. It's not, you do kind of like at the start of it, where you sort of establish, sort of, you basically pick what your relationship to your daughter is, type thing. Like even from the start, where you're choosing whether or not like she's adopted and stuff like that, I was kind of like, oh, okay, this is like a lot more deep and a bit more meaningful than I was expecting. So it's good. Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, the name of the game, like Dream Daddy, the daddy dating simulator, makes it sound like this just sort of like tacky, sort of could be a bit sort of icky type thing, but it's not. It's got quite a like, it's quite sweet, like so far from what I've seen. So yeah, I'll definitely like play through it at least once, because I wanna see where it goes and how it plays as sort of more characters come in and get involved. But yeah, it's I was looking forward to it just for like it be something completely unique. I've never played anything anywhere near like this before. But I'm surprised by it. It's enjoyable, and it's like I said, it's got a good bit of heart, and like you said, the writing is really good. Like the dad jokes are like proper like dad jokes as well, and you just can't help but go,
very
good. But yeah, I like it. It's like I said, it's just got a sweet sort of like heart to it, and it's great. Like it's nice to have something like dating simulators you kind of associate with sort of more like a Japanese type thing. So for something to come out sort of more aimed at like Western audiences, and for it to be this good, and for it to be sort of based around like you know, same-sex relationships as well, is like cool. Like the message it's got behind it and how well it's handled, it's really good.
Yeah, absolutely. Kelsey, sorry, you were going to say something before we went to Hugh.
I don't remember.
Okay.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Dream Daddy, a dad dating simulator. Yeah, yes, that's what we were talking
also,
about. Also,
my dad is called Zaphod Betamax.
Okay, all right.
Just to you know, FYI.
Thank you. Well, if you watch the videos, you know, but our dad's name is Ginger Thunderpeen. So,
God, you lot on your peens. What is it?
I didn't even think of that, dude, until after I did it. I was like, oh, he's like weird Henley, like proxy, like Henley's deep dance ancestor or something. But what I'll say too, Bill, you mentioned to you about it being same sex. What I think is cool, and look, I don't know how many people are going to play this game who aren't already progressive thinking. You know, I think that it leans towards people who obviously are not conservative in their thinking about same-sex lifestyle. But it is very cool to be put in the role of a same-sex relationship, because that's something you normally see, and it also makes you think about interactions in different ways, and just helps you self-identify more with a group of people who you aren't a part of, you know. I mean, and that if you're straight was what I mean, you know. Like you know, it's been very cool. Like I think that there aren't a lot of games that cast their leads as, you know, homosexual characters. I think games have gotten better with having homosexual characters in their games, but usually it's not the lead, and usually it's a secondary character or a side character, and this being in the perspective of one is really, really cool, I think. And the options they give you, like I said, not just are you a dad, are you a gay dad, but did you adopt your daughter? You know, you have a choice to say mother or father at the beginning. You know, so there's a lot of different, like it's not straight, like gay, straight, you know, it's a switch that goes one way or the other, you know. It goes into the kind of like the spectrum, and I think that's really, really cool that the game, much like the whole game itself, it's not as easy to pin down as you would think just seeing the title of the game, and that's been very cool to see playing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I'll definitely have more stories of Dream Daddy as we go along. so I had an experience this past week, and Justin had the same experience as me, which is that for about a half an hour on Friday night, I think it was, Walmart.com had SNES Classics for pre-order. And after about a half an hour, they just disappeared from the site altogether. Didn't even say sold out. The item was literally gone from the store. I grabbed one. Justin actually grabbed two, in case me or someone else he knew didn't get one during the pre-order time. And so cool. Like I was like, okay, cool. I got a pre-order. I'm set. I'm good. I'm gonna get this. I'm great. And then very early Saturday, the messages started rolling in from people saying that their orders were being canceled, and that when they talked to Walmart chat, the Walmart chat representatives were saying that the item went up accidentally, wasn't meant to go up. They hadn't put in their orders, didn't know their numbers they were getting from the actual manufacturer, so they were just canceling orders. Mine and Justin's didn't get canceled until today, which is pretty nuts because that's like 5-6 days after they actually went on sale, and I bought them. But there was a message put out from Walmart basically saying, hey, sorry, it wasn't meant to go up. It went up, so we're canceling every single pre-order that went up for it. And the system comes out on this date, and make sure you check back before that date to see when things will be available here. And the end was really weird to and we hope we earn your business again or something like that. It was a crazy thing because look, this stuff happens for sure. Like things get put up and don't and have to get pulled down. Items don't come when they're supposed to come. Blah 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 blah. A ton of things that happen most of the time, or like there's a price mistake on something and they cancel the orders after people made them. But they usually give them something in return for the inconvenience. Right? Like here's $10, here's $15, here's 20% off your next order. Blah blah whatever. Walmart did none of that. And Justin actually got on the phone with them because they charged his card before they canceled the order.
Oh my god.
And that's weird because when you pre-order stuff at a major retailer, other than as long as it's a physical good, they don't charge you for it until basically it gets shipped. That's when they charge you for it. So it was weird that they were charging him beforehand, and so Justin called them and they told him that, oh no, the order were canceled and they would refund in the next couple of days or whatever, next week or something, the money would be back onto his credit card. And they said, if you want, and when the item does go on sale for real, if you get one, call us and we'll give you a discount on the one that you newly pre-ordered. Which is a ludicrous thing to do. Why should he have to go through another hoop to get your item? Just give him a discount code. Just go here's a discount code. Here's a $10 gift card. When you order it, use this, or any other item you buy from us, do this. It's just a really poor handling of a major bungling on their part. And look, I mean, I'm most upset I didn't get the console. Justin already went through the rigmarole with their customer service and got nothing, so I didn't bother calling them to complain. Usually I'm the first person to complain to people on these things because I know if I complain, I will get something for my aggravation. But they seem to be getting stonewalling everybody as far as customer service goes. And it's just a weird prelude to when this stuff actually does go up for pre-order. If they were this worried about all of these pre-orders and not keeping them, then who knows what they're expecting as far as stock goes on them around. Because the good PR move, right, would be like, okay, if you pre-ordered it, you got us, you pre-ordered it, we're going to keep your pre-orders on file until we figure out how many we're going to get. And then maybe you cancel pre-orders later in the process because you go look, they didn't fulfill what we thought they were going to fulfill, blah, blah, whatever, we cancel them. So I don't really understand why they did what they did. Target has said that they're going to be putting up pre-orders soon, and they officially announced that. So I think that's going to be the next place to look if you're looking for one of these things, at least here in the States. I don't know how it's going to... I know Hugh already has it pre-ordered in the UK.
I just find it so weird that it's such a... an odd thing over there. I just went on Nintendo's UK online store, pre-ordered it, and that was that. To me, the smart thing to do, like you say, was either keep the pre-orders on file and then just once they know the stock, first come first served. You know, the first 20,000 or however many people pre-ordered it, they get the thing. Sorry to everybody else. Or alternatively, you go, right, everybody who's pre-ordered it, your pre-orders are cancelled. But once we know how much stock we're getting, and we'll send everybody a link, and we'll have this much stock. They'll go on sale at this time. You get like a priority pre-sale or something like that. And then if there's any left over, they'll go on general sale. Like you don't like shit on people and then not look after them in that respect. Like that's just terrible customer service.
Yeah, it's really bad customer service. And obviously they're under no obligation to do anything here, but it's not really about obligation, more of just about the sort of like optics of the whole situation. People are already obviously stressed out about the fact that they probably aren't going to get one of these, considering how they handled the NES Classic. So it doesn't help. Think Geek, by the way, had a bunch of NES classics on sale this week, but with like ridiculous bundles. Like they were like $140 bundles of like, you know, doodads and toys and all that you couldn't buy the console without buying them. Which I'm sorry, it's not worth it for that. But yeah, it was a bad experience as far as that stuff goes. I'm hoping I end up getting one, but yeah, it was not a good experience with Walmart when it's all said and done. The only other thing that came out this week that I'm excited about is a game called Pyre, which is from Supergiant Games, who made Bastion and Transistor. I purchased the game and I haven't got a chance to dig into it yet. I'm maybe going to do a live what is of it tomorrow morning when I usually do the morning run. So I'm going to check that out. I'm really excited about it. I love Bastion so much. It's one of my favorite games of all time, probably. And I liked Transistor, didn't go crazy for it, but I'm a big fan of the way they tell stories and their art style and their music. I've heard some of the music from it, and the music is amazing. They are always great with music. I'm interested to see if this is a Supergiant game that Justin and I agree upon, or if it's another one that divides us. I think it's time for me to love this one and Justin to just be okay with it. So we'll have to see.
I imagine probably just out of principle, whatever you say, he'll just go against that.
It's true. It's true. We finished Until Dawn last week, so I wish Justin was here this week because he had some issues with the end of that game.
I guess judging by a tweet he put out earlier on, I don't think he enjoyed it.
Yeah.
No. He definitely had one of his Justin moments for sure. One of his like, this game is terrible. Like one of those Justin moments during it. Makes for great video though. So yeah. That's the third time I've seen that game, probably all the way through. And it's still really good. I mean, it was very interesting this time around, knowing everything about the game and watching somebody play through it. Because unlike something like Resident Evil 7, like there aren't really choices, right? You're just like, I knew it was going to happen, he didn't, but what's going to happen to him is what happens to everybody, and there's no way to change what happens to you. And Until Dawn, it's really different, right? It's just like a complete, like, oh, this could be different, that could be different. Like if he goes that way or this way, it can totally change the fate of a character. And I got to see some things I've never seen before in playthroughs because he made choices that I never had made. But it was cool to see that. And we're gonna play Outlast 2 next, which will fulfill two things. A, it's a scary ass game, and B, it's a new game. It's a 2017 game, so we can knock something off our list that we wanted to play. Oh, I say want in big air quotes because I am not looking forward to it. I'm not looking forward to watching him play it.
Have you seen?
I know he's not looking forward to playing it.
Have you seen that clip of that guy? I'll send you a link to it later if you haven't.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yes, the dad.
Yeah,
who's playing, and his like little girl walks in.
It's so funny. He's like, I'll tell Kelsey about it. He's basically like he's streaming.
I saw it.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell people who haven't seen it. Maybe we'll put like the link in the show notes or something. But he's sat there and he's like engrossed in the game, like he's streaming. He's like in the game, so he's like walking around. It's really dark. There's like this outdoors, and it's like this really creepy dark like thing. And there's like this noise in the game, and then you can hear this little beat, like voice go, yeah, me, and he's just like, what the hell was that? And he turns around, and his daughter's like stood next to him, And she must only be about like what, 18 months, 2 years old, and he screams, just like, "Ah!" And then he's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And then he picks his daughter up onto his lap, and she's just like, "Ah." It's so funny. Like, it's proper, like, just like outright terror, just like scream, just blood curdling. It's so funny.
It's apparently the most watched clip ever on Twitch, like highlight clip,
With good reason.
Which is pretty nuts. Yeah, it's great. I'm looking forward to. I am looking forward to seeing the game because I did enjoy the first Outlast, but this is the first one where I won't have played it first, so I'm gonna be just like the same as Justin watching it. And I have heard. I mean, I heard they fixed it, but I heard that it can get frustrating because there was a pretty large difficulty ratchet up at some point, and there was some bad stuff with like how to navigate and how to get through stuff. But apparently they fixed a lot of it by now, so I'm glad that we're playing it now. But I'm looking forward to jumping in and checking that out. Obviously, Hugh and I have played more Battlegrounds. We played some tonight before we started recording, and we had a pretty good game. It ended up being a pretty good one, depending on where we started from. It was at least exciting.
Yes.
It was at least exciting, and we both pretty much saw the people who murdered us. So that's if that happens in a game, I'm usually pretty happy about it.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't just get shot out of nowhere. Me and Meg will continue our Friday thing this Friday morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So I'm excited about that as well. But yeah, I don't.
But
what's up?
You're missing the obvious there, dude. The chicken dinner, man. The chicken dinner.
Shit, dude! I totally forgot. I blocked that in my head because I'm so effing jealous of you. Yeah, so, you won. You won in a squad the other day.
Yes, like me, Megan, Dave, who is Crockett in our Discord chat. We just randomly sort of like grouped up, and like we match made with this other guy. It's brilliant. It's like the fucking epitome of like why I love doing this so much. Is like me. I mean, I'm here in Wales. Megan's over there in Australia. Like fucking like way in the future. Dave is wherever he is in the States, and then we match made with this guy from the north of England called Kyle, who. It's highly unlikely to listen to this, but Kyle, if you're listening, dude, you're freaking awesome. Like, you carried us in that game for a lot of it. So we started off, we were just sort of, just going through it, and we had a pretty good run of it. We all got, like, good loot. The circle was kind to us. And, like, as we went along, because I basically switch the chat, like the in-game chat, off unless I'm talking to my friends, and this stands for pretty much every game because I just don't like talking to people I don't know. I had it switched off, and as we were progressing, I was like, because Dave was speaking to him, I was just like, okay, we're kind of getting somewhere here. It feels like we're onto a good thing. So I like went into the settings, changed the chat so I could like press to talk. So it was about 15 people left, and we were driving along, and the care package drops in front of us. And I said to everybody, I was like, this is like straight in front of us. We're stopping. So we pulled up in the car alongside it, jumped out. I picked up like a med kit. Kyle, he jumped out, and there was an AKM and an 8x scope in there. So we shot off, carried on going. Went to this next group of houses, waited the next circle out, and Kyle was just there on like the flat roof of this house, just like picking people off. So we whittled it down to, I think there was 6 people left. So we came. This is when I started recording. So if anybody wants to see it, let me know, and I'll send them the Dropbox link. The only thing is, because I'm an idiot.
Just put it up on YouTube, dude.
Yeah, well, because I'm an idiot, I started recording, but I forgot to record my mic, so you can't hear me.
Oh boy,
which
you should like do like a video. You should like do like a commentary after the fact.
Yeah.
You should like record a video for yourself
I should watch it so many times that I know what people are gonna say, so I can kind of like preempt it, so it sounds like I'm there. So yeah, we got to like 5 or 6 people left, so we're running along, and I look up at this hill, and there's this guy prone on it, and just as I look at him, Kyle's just like, "There's a guy up on that hill," so we all turn around and just nail him. He was on his own because he just died outright, and we start like going up this hill. As we're going up it, Dave gets downed, and I was just like, "Ah, shit! This is where this is going to end now." I think it's us, and like I think there was us and 3 others left. So Kyle managed to push up and get into a decent position. I got behind a tree. Megan went and revived Dave, and we pushed up a bit further. So I was stood with Kyle. He goes around this building, kills one person, so it took us down to like 4 versus 2. And then Kyle got killed. And then I think the same guy who killed Kyle killed Dave as well, so it was just me and Megan left. So I was stood there peeking around this hut, and I see the 2 of them. So there's like I'm stood one hut, and there's a hut like just behind that to the right of it, and I see these 2 guys run into it, and I'm just like, shit, back off around the corner. And Megan starts running across towards me, and they knock her out. So I'm just like, Megan, crawl to me. So as she's doing that, I'm peeking around the corner. This other one of them like just appears, and I just like, fuck, and just like randomly try and shoot him. He takes off half my health, but I managed to kill him, like knock him out, and then just like finish him off. And I ran into this hut, and I'm like, Megan, come to me. So I'm healing, just like shitting myself because the circle's starting to close in, and like I'm healing myself, boosting myself. I get Megan back up, and I'm like, right, stay there, like heal yourself up, try and get to full health. I'm gonna go out there. So I just like go out of the hut, and Dave and Carl are like, the dude's like down this hill because it was like a bit of a sort of like drop off for the hill, so we had a bit of like, it was difficult to have line of sight on him from where we were. So I just like went prone and just started crawling forwards, and after about 5 seconds of me crawling, this guy just runs across. I don't know where he was going because he was looking in completely the wrong direction. I was just like, I can see him. And I got up, and I was like, he was about maybe like 50 meters away from me, and I had an ump on auto, and I was just like, this could be bad news because at this range ump, you kind of like getting to the limits of his ability. And I stood up.
Yeah.
And as I stood up, he turned, and I was just like, fuck, and just like killed him. And like I was just like, yes. But Megan's reaction was fucking brilliant because she was just like, oh my god, oh yes, 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 just screaming her head off. And then we were just like, we all settled down. We were like, thanks, Kyle. And he was like, you're welcome. And then like we just parted ways. And I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Oh, it was so. It took me about an hour for my hands to stop shaking after that. I was just like, oh. So yeah, it was awesome.
I will say the clip you sent me the clip, and maybe it was because I couldn't hear what you were saying, but you looked like a stone cold killer in that clip. Like you looked as assured as you possibly could have in that clip.
Yeah.
Like you looked like you got up and like you saw him running. You're like, okay, that's it. This is my time. That's what it felt like to me. And then you took him out, and then it was over. Like it was like a very self-assured looking like kill for the end of the match like that.
Yeah, because that's what I think. Because I've been watching a lot of streamers, and they prone and crawl a lot because I think it is really hard for people to see you. I was just like, screw it. Like Megan's there healing up, so even if I can just get a few shots on this guy, and he kills me, and I can tell her where he is, and she can finish him off, then great. And like it just panned out that I managed to like see him, target him properly, which like when you're not exactly very adept with mouse and keyboard isn't always the easiest thing to do, and actually finish him off. I was just like, yes, this is amazing. So yeah,
you did it both without me and not on a stream.
I know. I'm sorry, but at least I recorded the end of it. I had the presence
No,
of
it's
mind
true.
to
It's
do
true. It's true. I'm almost more upset that you did it not on stream, to be quite honest with you, other than not being with me. But yeah, that was that was awesome, and that's like it's cool. It's cool to see because you're the first person that I really like know like that has done it. You know, like the people in our chat who have done it.
Yeah.
But like I mean, Chuck has done it as well. I guess
Mhm.
I guess
Yeah,
actually
a
true. He
couple of
did it way
times
at
I
the
think he's
beginning
won.
when he first started playing. But yeah, I need to get that chicken dinner, Hugh. I'm even hungrier than ever before
We'll
now.
get you fed, dude. Don't worry.
Yeah, totally. We we this the match we played tonight before we came on here. We didn't record it either, so but we were basically running for the circle for the entire match. Like we just got in a bad spot, never found a car, and just went and went and went. And we did have a cool gunfight in some like garage thing.
Yeah, man, you were like a
And
fucking
at a certain
boss in that situation.
at a certain point, we were like trying to pick him off from far away because that's what you do, right? You don't want to try to give away your position. But at some point, I was like, nope, I just gotta fucking get in there because they're not gonna expect anybody to run in right now. They're gonna be looking for the other people. And sure enough, they were distracted by other people. And I walked in my Uzi and just took two of them out. But then we got swallowed by the circle before we could.
Yeah.
Before we could loot them. But yeah, that game is still the best. I'm still in love with it. But hopefully I've been playing I played other things in the last 2 weeks, so that's impressive for me at this point. All right, I think that epic battleground story is going to have to close out the podcast for this week. Follow us on Twitter at talking_games, on Twitch, twitch.tv/talkinggames, or on YouTube, youtube.com/talkinggamesvideos. We have a lot of videos still going up. Battlegrounds videos. Hugh did a What is Splatoon 2. We've got Dream Daddy videos. We got Sam's Ladies Churros Hideout with Sam and Cody. Cody has put his Friday the 13th videos on hold for a little bit because apparently the game is dealing with some pretty bad performance and bug issues right now. So he's put those on hold, but I'm sure those will be back as well. One day, Kelsey and Justin will do another episode of their show tomorrow. Okay,
Yay.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Live on Twitch, twitch.tv/talkinggames.
Oh, I might stay up and watch
Overwatch
that.
Together.
I'm off work on Friday.
Oh boy.
Maybe I
Oh
can join
boy.
you.
Oh, come. Yeah. Come to our aptly named.
Yes.
Yeah, I might
Yes.
ruin your the title.
Yeah. Well, it's two guys, a girl, and the payload. Then it's more like
Two
it's
guys,
more
a
like
girl,
the
a
TV
Welsh
show,
man,
and
and
it
a
sounds
payload.
Marie.
it sounds even more like a porn at that point.
And a sheep.
And you can follow me personally at Bobby Shortle, Hugh,
I am at H_Paz.
and Kelsey.
Kelsamus, KELSSAMUS.
And make sure you send in questions, games at talkingcomicbooks.com or talking_games on Twitter. We really want to get more questions in, and leave a review on iTunes if you can for the podcast. Rate it and review it. It would really mean a lot to us if you could do that. And if you have suggestions or things you want to hear us talk about, or games you want us to play, leave those as well because we'd love to hear them. If you're enjoying any YouTube videos, like, subscribe, comment. It helps a lot, and we love seeing comments on the YouTube videos. It's one of my favorite things. So, but until next week on the Talking Games podcast, thank you, Hugh.
Thank you, Kelsey.
Thank you, Bobby.
And thank you to all of you who are listening. Until next time, be good to one another.